We went into the schools with sex education programs that we knew would increase the sexual activity and therefore the pregnancy rate.
And I turned to look at the screen and thought, that looks like a baby. Well, she got very upset and yelled at me and said, turn around, don't you dare look at that.
They explained it to me that it was a blob, that it wasn't anything yet.
And she told me that it wasn't even a baby yet, that it was just a clump of cells.
This is the pregnancy expert saying, there it is, you're pregnant. And then grab her by the bony part of the elbow and squeeze. Do you have your money? Can you do it today?
I bought the lie. I now know she didn't show me my baby. She just showed me a dot on the screen so that I would go through with the abortion.
I literally felt like my soul was being sucked out that day.
It was excruciatingly painful, and I almost passed out.
They sucked the life out of my body that I knew I'd never be able to get back.
And I knew right then and there I had made the biggest mistake of my life.
I heard the sound of the vacuum, and all of a sudden I saw a splattering of the blood, and I knew my baby had to be in that jar.
And I heard one nurse say to the other nurse, it's twins. And then she took the trash bag and she tied it in a knot and she walked out with the twins in that trash bag.
I wanted to meet them. I wanted to see what they would have looked like, hear their voices. They said my life would get back to normal again. It's never been back to normal again.
The grief and trauma and shame that we as women deal with this choice, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
I turned the gas on in the oven, and thank God a friend came to the door. I tried 2 other times to kill myself as well.
I began to have suicidal thoughts, and I made a suicide attempt.
There's not enough tissue in my office to handle the tears of the women when they realize that they may have killed the only baby that they will have.
I knew that I had to tell my parents that they had grandchildren they were never going to hold. I had to tell my brother and my sisters that they had nieces and nephews they were never going to meet. I started wondering who they'd be and realized I changed my family tree. There was going to be Christmases and holidays that there were going to be people missing. And then I started wondering about the grandchildren that I was going to be missing as well.
I thought many times, well, I won't be able to be at my little girl's first birthday party. I won't be having those father-daughter talks. I won't be able to take her to school the first day or walk down the football field at homecoming. I'm going to miss those occasions.
I will never forget, and I will always regret the decision to abort my children. I am 46 years old today, and I have no living children. The children that God put in my womb, I took the life of each one of them.
And I heard a pastor say that I think that there's somebody here today that has been thinking about committing suicide, about taking your life, and I want you to come forward and let me pray for you. And I moved forward that day because I was desperate to get off of that merry-go-round of abortion.
Once I became a Christian, God began opening my eyes to the truths of abortion. I finally realized that it wasn't a blob of tissue that was inside of me, that abortion took the life of my child, and I began to realize that I was responsible for killing 4 of my own children.
And then I realized that I had to forgive, that I needed to forgive myself. I needed to forgive my boyfriend from way back then. I didn't realize I hadn't done it. I needed to forgive my present husband, and I needed to allow Jesus Christ to come in and heal those wounds that I had carried for years and years and years.
You see, I love my child that I lost just as much as I love the 3 children I have today. I know someday I'm going to meet that child in heaven, and that's what keeps me going.
I would just encourage any woman that found themselves in the same situation that they would really think twice about it, and that they wouldn't let fear lead them to make a decision that they would regret the rest of their life.
There's life and joy for everyone in America. and that should be from fertilization to natural death. And so I invite you today and always, it's very important to just choose life.
Many women have had abortions, and there's no place for them to go, to have the voice, to say it. I think there's a lot of women in hiding because of still the shame of admitting it and its impact in their life. So what I would want to say is take courage and do so for yourself and for the memory of that child.